Okay guys, so here is a preview of the Finnish Truckers Travel website. As you can see, it's pretty basic. We have a sidebar with the destination of the month. We have our section with all of our content here, and then kind of a long copyright because we talk about it being a fictitious website for learning purposes from MCC Multimedia. This logo and contact info is the header area, and then we have a slideshow, which we will eventually get to. And then we have navigation with rollover functionality so that people can easily get to different pages of the site. When you first get the folder, you only have a content.html and images. In the images, you have all the images used in the site, the slideshow images, and there's actually 5 different logos because it changes or should change for every page. And the content looks like this. It's just real basic code that you're going to copy and paste into your website so you don't have to write all this content. It's already written for you and you don't have to code it all. So what we need to do is we need to actually build this page. So the first thing we need to do is define our site in Dreamweaver. So I've already defined my site, gave it a name, gave it the root folder. And in that folder we have, again, the content.html, which we're not going to use for a while, in the images folder. So I created a design.html, not index.html, because we're actually not making our homepage right now. We're designing a template so we can build all our other pages off that template. And then I've attached a CSS called styles.css. Now, if you look in my actual structure, I looked at this page and said, okay, we have the logo and the contact info, and to me, I figured both of those things are a part of the header. So inside of my header tag, I have a div with an ID of logo and a div with ID of contact info. And then I have my actual slideshow, which I want it to be the full width, so that's just div ID of slideshow. And then I don't intend to have any other navigation on the page, any other sidebars, or any other content. So you'll notice that for me, I just put the regular nav tag, a side tag, section tag, and footer tag, because I don't intend, again, to have anything more than those. I don't intend to have more than one of those on the page, so I don't need to do IDs, and I will just style it like I would normally, except for instead of designing the ID, what the heck was that sound? Sorry. Instead of styling the ID, I'm just gonna style the actual tags themselves. So what we need to do is, in addition to this, we need to wrap a wrapper around it. So I highlighted all the way from the start of the header to the end of the footer and grab a div and give that my ID of wrapper. And there we go. So what we need to do is we need to actually start adding garish colors in here. I'm going to do the wrapper first, just because there are special kind of settings. Oops. So let me get rid of this. All right, so for the wrapper, you're going to make it 960 pixels, and you're going to put 20 pixels of padding all the way around it. So lock it and then type in 20 pixels. So that's going to allow it to have everything sit away from the sides, and our picture in our slideshow is specifically 960 wide and 300 pixels tall, and it has to be that size. So if we add up 960 plus 20 on the left and right, that's 1,000 pixels. So we're going to go ahead and give this a garish background color, and I'll just do gray so we can see it. And we actually do want a little bit of margin on the top, so we could always come in here again to the layout and do margin on the top of, let's just do 20 all the way around. So actually, let's delete that and just do 20 on the top. So 20 on the top. There you go. So now it's just a matter of coming into each one of these. So I can come in here to the logo and click the new rule, and it says the logo within the header within the wrapper. So I can leave it like that if I want to. And I can come in and add a garish color. And remember, we're going to want to float that to the left, so it needs a specific width, and it needs to float to the left. And then the contact info, you can make it whatever width you think it looks like it's going to be, and that can be adjustable later when we add the contact back in. So each one of these, I'm going to add garish color and float to the left or float to the right. And then remember, things like the slideshow, it needs to clear both if it has floated items on top of it. So I think the slideshow and the footer are the only two that need that clear both. Otherwise, a side and section, a side left, section right, and then logo left and contact right. So make sure that you create the layout for this actual page, and once we do, we'll go back in and we'll take the colors out and we'll make sure everything looks correct.